The Indus Valley Civilization was one of the world's earliest urban societies, flourishing thousands of years ago in what is now Pakistan and northwest India. It grew along the Indus River and its tributaries, and for centuries it built planned cities, ran long-distance trade, and developed a distinctive culture that we're still trying to understand today. Archaeologists usually date the main urban phase of the Indus Valley Civilization, often called the Harappan civilization, to roughly 2600 to 1900 BCE, with earlier and later phases before and after that core period. During this time, large cities and smaller towns appeared across a huge area, covering parts of modern Pakistan, India, and even reaching into Afghanistan. Two of the best-known Indus cities are Harappa and Mohenjo Daro. These weren't random collections of houses, they were carefully designed urban centers built on raised platforms, divided into areas that archaeologists describe as citadel zones and lower towns, with streets laid out in a grid pattern. One of the most striking features of these cities is their use of standardized baked brick construction. Buildings, city walls, and platforms were often made from bricks that followed consistent proportions, suggesting shared building standards across many different sites. This kind of standardization is a strong sign of organized planning and coordination. The street layouts also stand out. Many streets in Harappan cities run roughly north-south and east-west, intersecting at right angles and forming blocks. Smaller lanes branch off these main roads. This kind of grid design shows that city planners were thinking ahead about traffic, drainage, and how people would move through the space. Drainage systems are another famous feature of the Indus Valley Civilization. Houses and public buildings often had bathrooms or washing areas connected to covered drains, and those drains linked into larger channels that carried wastewater out of the city. In some cases, drains were built with stone or brick covers and inspection openings, which suggests regular maintenance. The presence of these drainage systems indicates that cleanliness and water management were important, and that authorities or communities invested time and labor in maintaining basic urban services. Compared to many other early civilizations, the Indus approach to drainage and sanitation looks unusually advanced. Water supply was also carefully managed. Archaeologists have found wells and reservoirs in Indus cities, often built with rings of bricks. In Mohenjo Daro, one of the most famous structures is the so-called Great Bath, a large rectangular pool fed and drained by an early plumbing system. Its purpose is still debated, but it probably had some sort of ritual or public function. Daily life in Indus cities seems to have combined farming, craft production, and trade. People grew crops like wheat and barley, kept animals such as cattle, and used irrigation where possible, especially in river valleys. Surplus food supported non-farmers who worked as artisans, traders, and officials. Crafts included bead-making, pottery, metalwork, and the production of shell and stone ornaments. Indus artisans made highly polished stone beads, intricate jewelry, and carefully shaped ceramic vessels. Many of these items have been found far from their original production centers, which shows that goods moved across long distances. Trade routes linked the Indus Valley to neighboring regions like Mesopotamia and the Persian Gulf. Archaeologists have discovered Indus-style seals and goods in sites outside South Asia, and foreign materials, such as certain stones and metals, appear in Indus contexts. This exchange carried raw materials, finished products, and ideas between distant civilizations. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Indus Valley Civilization is its writing system. Small inscriptions appear on seals, pottery, and other objects using symbols we call the Indus script. Despite decades of study, this script has not been fully deciphered, so we still don't know what the inscriptions say. Because the script remains a mystery, historians and archaeologists have to rely heavily on material remains, buildings, tools, graves, and artifacts to reconstruct Indus society. We can see evidence of social differences in house sizes and burial goods, but we don't have direct texts describing kings, laws, or religious beliefs. Religion and belief in the Indus Valley are hard to define. Archaeologists have found figurines, animal symbols, and possible ritual structures, but without readable texts, it's difficult to say exactly what people believed or how they worshipped. Some scholars have suggested connections to later religious traditions in the region, but those links are still debated. In terms of political organization, the Indus Valley Civilization appears to have had some form of state-level structure, given its scale and standardization. However, we don't see huge palaces or massive royal tombs like in some other ancient cultures. Power may have been distributed differently or expressed in ways that are harder to see archaeologically. As time went on, signs of change and decline began to appear. Around 1900 BCE, many Indus cities started to lose their clearly urban character. Writing becomes less common, standardized weights and measures fall out of use, and some major sites were gradually abandoned or reduced in size. Scholars have proposed several explanations for this decline. One major group of theories focuses on environmental change. Some research suggests that shifts in monsoon patterns and the drying of certain rivers, including channels associated with the Saraswati or Gagahakra system, reduced water availability in key areas. Other studies point to repeated droughts over centuries, with rainfall decreasing and temperatures rising, which would have stressed agriculture and water supplies. In this view, people gradually moved away from large river valley cities toward areas with more reliable rainfall, fragmenting the civilization into smaller communities. Flooding and changes in river courses are also part of the picture. Evidence of silt layers and damage at sites like Mohenjo Daro suggests that major floods occurred, and the shifting of river channels may have left some settlements with too little water, while others faced destructive inundations. Earlier explanations emphasized invasion, particularly by Indo-Aryan groups, as the main cause of the civilization's collapse. Some skeletal remains and archaeological patterns were interpreted as signs of violent conflict. However, many modern scholars argue that invasion alone is unlikely to explain such a widespread and complex decline. The current picture is that the end of the Indus Valley Civilization probably involved multiple factors: environmental stress, shifts in trade, internal social changes, and possibly some conflict, acting over generations rather than as one sudden disaster. The large urban centers faded, but people and traditions likely continued in smaller, more localized forms. Even after the big cities declined, the influence of the Indus Valley did not disappear entirely. Elements of its technology, craft traditions, and settlement patterns appear to have carried over into later cultures in the region. Some scholars see links between the Indus people and later South Asian populations, though details are still being explored. The river flows on, indifferent to the rise and fall of civilizations on its banks. Today, the Indus Valley Civilization fascinates researchers and the public alike because it combined advanced urban planning, long-distance trade, and skilled craftsmanship, yet left us no fully readable texts. It shows that complex societies can rise, flourish, and transform in response to environment, economy, and culture. The ruins are real. The questions remain. Studying the Indus Valley also offers lessons for our own time. Its apparent sensitivity to climate shifts and river changes reminds us that water and environment can shape the fate of entire regions. The story of this civilization is not just about the past. It raises questions about how modern societies handle similar challenges today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Indus Valley Civilization, tap like, leave a comment with which ancient culture you want to see next, and subscribe to History in Minutes for more clear visual explainers on forgotten and famous civilizations around the world.